Words. Just wanted to suggested in a previous video that I'd make a video about specific words. And there are a couple new pants. There are a couple. There are a couple of words that are very powerful, really powerful, that I kind of took on board a couple of years ago after an amazing long weekend retreat with the Now Project, which is a fantastic place to start your journey without a shadow of a doubt. And I came back having spent a weekend of deep meditation, and we'd done some qigong, we'd done some chanting, and I'd started to really get the power of words in a new way. They've always been a big game to me, but this was in a new way. And there are two words that I decided that I needed to try not to say. One of them was as a reminder for being in the present moment. And that one is think. You'd be amazed how often you say it. Oh, let me think about it. Just give me a second to think. I'll think it over. Well, yeah, hang on. Now that I've thought about it, it's everywhere. And thinking in Zen philosophy, for sure, it's going to lead to trouble. Most thoughts are not even your own. 90% of what we consider to be knowledge is secondary knowledge. It's been told to us. Only about 10% of your actual knowing is from your experience, which is what I try to go by. So I try to not say think. I'm saying it before you start commenting, which you're very welcome to. Comment, say what you want, say go away you idiot. If you've got this far and want to write go away you idiot, that'd be great. Or anything you want. So I'm saying it to highlight, but I try not to. I say I feel or I perceive, just in order to remind me to not get carried away, because thoughts tend to either be a longing for something that hasn't happened, creating a story, the future, or analysing something that has happened in the past. Neither of those things are here, right here, in the present moment. So I try not to say that. And I sat on a train journey. I came up with this on a train journey back to Paddington with a very dear friend, Jill, who maybe will watch this. And that's why I just said, I'm just going to try not to say these things. And I've really gone a long way with it. You won't hear me say them very often unless they're in direct context and explanation as to why I try not to use them. And the second one I consider to be probably the most unsayable, unspeakable word, and it's used so readily, and it's used to reinforce, it's used to solidify, it's used as a banner, it's used for violence in a weird way. So I'm going to say it carefully. It's not like, it's none of that. It's much worse. This is sort of like a fanfare of presence. There was such a thing. Okay, so the word that I really feel is the most destructive and harmful word is believe. And you might go, but you got to believe. No, you must not. Don't believe me either. Believe nothing. Experience everything, but believe nothing. I'll just give you my kind of thing with belief. So if you come to me and you say that you believe in God or Allah or Krishna or Shiva, or it doesn't really matter, you believe in this thing, I'm going to love you. Anyway, but I'm going to figure you've still got some work to do on your journey. Because if you believe something, generally something's told to you and you've just gone along with it without asking any real questions. This is what belief is. It's a kind of blind faith. Cross the road, you won't get run over. Should I look? It's a good question. Now, if you say to me that you feel there's God, Allah, Krishna, Shiva, whatever, now I'm interested. Now you've actually got my attention. I'm not going to believe what you say, but I'm going to pay good attention. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to relish your words and your feelings and see if they affect me, and they may do, and it might change the way I feel. Who knows? It's happened many times in life. If you say you know there's God, Allah, Shiva, whatever, now I'm fascinated, you've got me. I'm still not going to believe you. But just to highlight what else belief does, I'm not really a football fan. I consider it to be a kid's game, and it's used as a financial lever, as a massive weapon of mass distraction, because while the eyes of most of the men in the world are on a ball of one shape or another at any given time of the year, their eyes completely off the ball, which is why we are mugged for taxes and imprisoned and made terrified about things that we don't really need to be, potentially, because of distraction. When you meditate and become present, distractions become less likely because you're actually in the moment, not being taken away by a story. So anyway, during World Cup things, when I'd still, even though I didn't support a football team, I'd still get whooped up in the national thing. Oh, England, yeah, and everybody was going out, and the whole country would come to a stop, and even, really sensible people that don't really do football would get whooped up into it, and mums, really unlikely, oh yeah, and this is in any country in the world, right? So they believe that actually it's important to support their country as a national thing all of a sudden. And when you see newspapers during these periods, not only do you get pictures of footballers, there's always like the Queen or one of the royals or politicians. They have to hook up to this stuff, right? Because they need us to believe that we have to be proud of this thing. But what is this thing, this flag we're waving? Well, it doesn't matter what country you come from. It represents an entity that imprisons, bullies, makes terrible decisions, generally make weapons of mass distraction and killing, and seldom people that will use them on them. You couldn't make any of this up. Incarcerate people for telling the truth. Anyone that doesn't, imposes wars and sanctions. And we believe that we have to be proud of that. Just saying, it doesn't matter what country you're from, that's where belief can take you. Or believing that wealth is how much money you have. It's all strain and no poo. Money, all menus and no dinner. It's just a belief. Wealth is what you are. And there is enough wealth to go around. We even get told how many people apparently have so much of it and how many have so few. And that's not enough to make change. Because of belief. Oh, it's because they work hard. No, it's because they exploit people. Because people believe that these world leaders or business runners or whatever have got you in mind, and they deserve what they have. And often you'll see on Twitter these things, 10 things that businessmen or successful businessmen have in common. It's very often getting up early, having a light meals, always leaving something on your plate, listening, reading for an hour a day, whatever. I always like to add a number 11, which is the ability to sleep at night while they profit at the sufferance of others that are living below a working wage, etc. So belief is a really powerful word. So don't believe anything. Ask as many questions as you can from as many different sources as possible while you can. And then see what feels right for you. You don't have to agree with anybody else, and certainly don't have to agree with me. Just be careful what you believe. Right, let's let all the believing go. One deep breath into 5. Let it fall away. Just focus on your breath. There you go. Namaste. Don't believe a word I say. Wah wah.